que esa persona no diga algo así porque se los van a creer y los van a dañar a todos. I wanna say certain things, you know, in the middle of this all, this of I do not say what I am about to say, but tellers, perras sucias, Sodoma, Gomorrah, keeps on making the business upon me every day, is the class of contention which shall never be done. Argentina never provided of no class of no institutions and no sanity as institutions law, less justice and less health. Because of Cristina Kirchner, Néstor Kirchner officialism Argentina, and Perrada, Sodoma y Gomorra, Fuerzas Armadas, Armada Argentina, Ejército Argentino, always were for this. Just I said. We done it first. The idea to having the full control, making up anything, forging, lying, and saying, but I got the patch, and I have the weapon, and I am, oh my God, I am government. Don't you see my uniform and my badge? I am. You gotta believe me. Believe. It's about believe. Any damn bitch of the hell comes and says anything in complicity with any other class of a bunch of hell bitches like this all are together, which even this last night were making all class of a witchcraft to me while rapes two rabbins and families could run and are raping people of my nation, pedazo de maldita ta del infierno, Cristina Kirchner, and are destroying permanently, making up after that I do it with your tazos consider of expertises, perra sucia, and I offense you when you are behind this since the beginning, and you sent this to be done. Maldita ta del infierno. And the rest, all you, perra sucia, were doing to me, my family, and to everybody else's, and you are not gonna be me. Elie is of God. You are a hell, she-demon bitch, forever. Sarah. Para tu delirio, perra. Sorry this, forgive me the words so virginal French. While, keep on saying the word a little bit more, can I stop? But they are trolas y trolos. Sodoma, Gomorra, Fuerzas Armadas keep on making, signating of petition for, oh, we are the witnesses, we are the patriot, don't you see? Any shit as emblem or anything to use for they to be the shit they are, saying that they will be the worst and justify it as rightful is endorsedly but them own class, perras y perros de Sodoma y Gomorra, while keeps on making the witchcraft every day for the hunting, murdering and the centinela de la patria, cada maldita y cada maldito todo el infierno. Y los quiero matar a todos y disfrutar mientras lo hago. Y es lo que voy a hacer. Digo ejecución y justicia, y así será. Y si es necesario el pueblo civil en cenizas de la lacra perra sucia esa, inclusive, y disfrutarlo porque así tiene que ser, para justicia. At the real of the soul, the certain clear fact, and beginning the morning with extortions, while Kirchner's malditas tas enfermas conscientes. But if he spent it all of the time making, and he were and our expertises, your expertises are them bitches just like you. Conscience liars, manipulative pieces of bitches of hell. Understanding what you do, what you are, and what you go for, what you seek, which is exactly what we suffer. Perra sucia 666. Por los siglos muerto. Oficialista enfermo, degenerado. Con tu perra. Then in the middle of the soul, the simplicity for what we go through. keeps on kneeling and trying to manipulate my mother and using whatever has at hand. Then in the middle of this all, some extra about this all to keep on all over the same steel, the same through. While in the middle of this all, we keep the same. Item first, not he. He, the liars, he mistaken here, he thinks he commands, and we command, not him. Last night, I cut here to my address I made in this controversial video. Shall I come again? Maybe. I don't know. It's just like, is this necessary? Shall we come through this again? We don't need it. I don't need this. And what is this through? Are you needing to psychodiagnose me? Are you needing to show me your power? Are you needing to be superior and thinking that I may be your ecomaniac need, ecophilic degeneration, or eco-hysteric heroic plan? So, maybe, I don't know, I can be such a trophy for you. You think? The reality. Last night, after I done that, I were talking with Your Honor at the condition of the protocoler, with the real fact of we were talking. Your Honor adamant I is under threat and premeditated for being murdered. While kept on kidnapping and raping and murdering trolos y trolas, Policía Federal Argentina Metropolitana, Gendarmería Nacional, all class of the people, like I said, Latin America is a damn hell bitch in heat for powers and powers to become on the top, like glorious, while are abominable factuat since the birth were, and genocides its own population. And this is what we got. And comes with Vargas and some others telling open veins of Latin America. Oh my God, my Latin America. Oh my God. Hypocrite hell shit. UNASUR, basura mierda. So in the middle of this all, I were talking to Your Honor. Supposed to Iris still tears consciously and knowing it is not. With sending putas y putos, Gendarmería Nacional, Policía Federal Argentina, Policía de Seguridad Aeroportuaria, with the training of the puto argentino, go around, each, get the power and come to the training. Maldita puta Sodoma y Gomorra. STEM professionalism, expertisement. Ven dos violadores de todo lo que encuentran al paso, inclusive perros y chivos, pollos y lo que sea. She's his. Sorry. Then at the reality of this, sending for murdering, disappearing whoever were talking to me, because of his the pattern. Anything he does, anyone he speaks to, anything he shows, he proves, go kill, destroy, rob, disappear, and nothing ever happens. We're done. Take the control. He's not gonna take the power away of us. And he's not gonna take his life away to us. The same perras evangélicas, prostitutas de todos ellos, United Evangelics, with a pardon of fear. That at the clear fact of what they do and keeps on saying and making, I will send them all together to the hell at once. And I'm not gonna play that you're delirious, you have right, and you are reason of the reality of mine and any other. Evangelista atrofiado. So in the middle of this all, the reality is I were here talking to Your Honor and I expressed him, we have problem. And this is not the first time. I come to say again, I were working since 2004, last months, and 2005 all through and since then, with anti-terrorism war, United Nations Council, sorry. And I were named inside the same force, and not only named, but even having a position inside the same force, without not moving away from Buenos Aires because of PERRA Kirchners, and PERRA Policía Federal Argentina, Ejército Argentino, and bodies were all the time making what you see today, isolating me, making up any delirious speeches, Sodoma Gomorrah generations, for they to be the heroes and I. With the delirious and him is taking here, we command and not him. We are not going to allow you, United Nations, and anyone around to come to taking any one of our land and putting them like we know they cannot be. We are government, you know, not coming all through above us and telling you can take anyone. You gotta come to us and we are gonna determine it if there is an element for United Nations or not. We are gonna say it, of course. And evangelics of hell with them. Then, in the middle of this all, I just were doing my job, even last night. This is not the first time. We came on fighting like Mr. President Barack Obama were noticed, and not only he. Dealing with nuclear terrorism. This is not putting people under fear, but ADONAI were keeping us, and ADONAI were working with us. And the reality of the nuclear terrorism were not only the characteristical reality of Iran, making exactly nuclear armament, but the clear fact were also at DRMC, which Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, Néstor Kirchner officialism, Argentina-UNASUR, were buying hats and were making trades with the criminal Garatus and Yovolt, with Sarkozy, with France, buying all Chang hats, nuclear hats, the same Brazil, and started to making this class, and I'm sorry for the suffered people in Latin America, devices, nuclear devices, and not for reactors, but armament. And playing the power, we are patriot. And in the middle of this all, they were not successful in what they wanted to do, but they remained, they traded. And in the middle of this all, I taken all away and said, stolen to the patriot. And in the middle of this all, I shown what they were doing and went to buy what they were planning with that all. So suddenly, all through this last years, we're making trades with criminals that were hunted and put under capital sentence in Germany, in Russia, in Austria, in China, in France, and also few that we suffered in US under the command of George sandbush. So in the middle of the soul last night, like days before, for about last week and the week before, we had a 3 gigatons device that Urana needs I to express in the middle of Ginebra City, in the EDR tower, which we spoken last night, which Perras degeneradas inteligencia federal comes to trying to make the business upon me. We deactivated with the Holy Spirit that prayed given to us. And we're not disactivated. I disassembled it with the reality of who I am and the supporting of the ones that we're working with. So I disassembled and neutralized the DRMC radioactive and put in a shield stamped in a way that nobody will ever understand. On the mass and on the cores for there to not be radioactivity and could be cleanable. The environment of it already existent and possible to manufacture the reality of transporting with no death, which are in the middle of the ways since the before ones, and this lasts because of there is a high 17.8 radions all over these devices and mortal. So 17 persons were found dead at the way that I said would to Urana and to General Durkee, which is nothing like this. MARIKA SODOMITAS, thank God, and this remains. Shala. So in the middle of this all, I, Alejandro Mario Blanco Redemi, still working with the Anti-Terrorism and War Council, United Nations, that were disgregated, but the real forces acting for wording this and putting away the shit like this. I did it first. He puts it and he makes it to call the attention and play the hero. Y deliro, perra degenerada. And you will be the hero while you put it and make the switch, psicopata perra. Oh, spell them all and switch the mind and put your spirit and make them believe everything is okay. National security techniques. Emotional, spiritual intelligence. And associated perras, just like you all over, given credit for, with forgery and chip shit, like Kirchner's communities. And the Cuerpa Médica Forensa, para duda, with the pardon of the 5. And the whole shit. Oh, but he has a registers of bipolarly and has delirious disorders and maniac persecutor and also megalomaniac, and he is delirio de perra y delirio de... Alright, delirio de puta sucia, monedas y carrera por la vida de oro. Like you were conscious about and you needed to. With putos y putas, Sodoma, Gomorra, Policía Federal. Until the police chief to do what they says gotta be done, you know? Because of the expertise shown us. Oh my God! Eso es lo que te mostró. Maldita puta. Sorry. Forgive me, Rabbi. Forgive me, Israel. But it's the fact. Then in the middle of this all, I just disassembled 22 more devices which were on the C9 RDRMC plastic explosive in Jerusalem, in Adrebal Khedi, around Europe, in Asia, Moscow, and Chevka, which is southwestern of Russia. And ¿qué te pasó ahí, pedazo de puto pelotudo? Lo dije ayer a la noche y estuve trabajando. Puto enfermo atrofiado. Sorry this. And with this all, also in New York City, DC, Washington DC, in DRMC intelligence FBI, which it is ATROFIADA in Colorado, US. Nunca lo supo y seguís tan puto atrofiado pelotudo. Y el que hace el negocio con vos, hijo de perra. Sorry this, and I'm gonna show you what I'm saying and why the words as well, but they are. So in the middle of the soul, the reality is Daniel Qaeda in US will ever be the supporting of this, saying that they done and they worked on anti-terrorism in the world, and it's activating bombs and helping for the world to be in peace. Of the SODOMA, shall I say the word, at this says, for you have the picture, not for me and for us, should I? The SODOMA cock, they said cock, not cock, powers, and the cum, which ones? Because of the cock commands. For Cristina Kirchner officialism, Policía Federal Argentina and all that, plays the hero, cock, TROLO, SODOMITA. And can't, trola, Gomorra, because of are the same. It's exactly this. You understand the picture, and the terms, and the level. So in the middle of the soul, the clear fact of this made an up all through the night and said we're at the United States of America, in Europe, as in Israel, Russia, and China, and also in Japan, and saying that they were serving this and disactivating. And they were in Brazil making up in a class of a shit, and when they knew this, they ran into here saying, oh, make up in a thing, our friends in Russia, in Europe, in US, in China, as in Japan are gonna help us, like always have been doing, even with all I do, the rest. And also sings old conscience, basura degenerada, maldita muerta. Then, in the middle of the soul, this morning were 85 elements more, and 17 of them, 17 were nuclear bombs. And all through lying in bed, I just made my weird. Even at sleeping, the liars, and I were not sleeping. I just done my job. And my job were, I just removed them, and you're unaware conscience with just the presence about this, and also the council under protection, and also the reality of witnesses, not only justice bodies. So I removed those elements, those devices, and I put them away, and I showed them with a very special view, a very bubble, technologically, which everybody can say impossible. And I just said enough. And there were cleaned and blasted away from here. Then, in the middle of this reality, my supposed hilarious is the business of cada putada enferma Argentina-UNASUR, because of Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, officialism, Policía Federal Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional, CIDE, and UNASUR, BRMDT, Council Government of the World Security, have made in this earthamite. The terrorism united international terrorism hall since 2004 by the hand of Néstor and Cristina Kirchner, Oficialismo Argentina, Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, Policía Federal Argentina, CIDE Argentina, UNASUR, and Luciano Troviano. Uniting Al-Qaeda, Al-Jazeera, ETA, IRA, ADVI, CADMI, TICA, BICA, TASCU, MATI, Hamas, Kaul, Vero, Chapu, Aika, Eikani, Talca, Ruato, Brosa, and also Labia. Farcs, which is the whole of the terrorism and the whole of the narcos, Mexico, Panama, Ecuador, Puerto Rico, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Colombia, Venezuela, Peru, and all over Cuba, Haiti, and the rest. And this is insane. So I'm gonna give it this warning. The whole UNASUR governmental are not governmental and are actually this I'm showing to you. And Policía Federal Argentina, CIDE, Policía de Seguridad Portuaria, and a few cucarachas, sucias degeneradas, Armada Argentina, which the rest all are the same, this, anyway, with PERRA sucia, brain, and United Evangelics are making this to us. And I were fighting them, and we are in a very dynamics of war, daily, which the shit this makes up, and forwards into the institution and trade into raising the whole of the world of United Evangelics bitches, to destroying everyone and everybody around, while makes under threat, like we're doing to me in a lifetime, especially this last 13 years, for mating and recruiting more putos y putas infernales, to making we're gonna take the world because of Wicker Man, and him is taking here Wicker Man and REM, and we are gonna show that we had to be an REM. And they're choosing, of course, telling that they are the government of the world. Sodoma, Gomorra y Avu na unu Ba'apat ataku Gargolians, yes, Gargolas. And I will be the liars for internation and medication. How dares. Thinks that does what our man does, even singing, is an incapable defined by law. And forgeries for 28,204 and murders for 3,208,006 all through UNASUR, and kidnapped 2,006 persons from Europe and pretended to kidnapping in Israel, even now, and murders for 1,006,217 in United States of America, Canada. So they keep on making this with done and not him, and I do carry that as well because of his upon me. He mistaking here Wickman and not him, and forging and murdering upon the forgery when the forgery is so forged, which it is. Every day the same. Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, Néstor Kirchner, Oficialismo Argentina, UNASUR, and whole putada Sodoma and Gomorra of them, all over. And whenever tell what they are, goes to murder upon the demon. Delirious, they says, gonna be. If you need to murder and genocide and rape and murder, saying for they to pay what I do to them, and comes to saying I am a delirious, disequilibrated, and all that delirious I gotta be because of this, says they are gonna put me that with the faith of 666 and perra maldita puta brain with them bodies. Sorry, this. Forgive me the words. Virgin of French, later extended on this. The simplicity and the clear fact. Do you really think a delirious demon and degenerate is reason to genocide the world? Do you really concern that? Any sensed person, any clear, understood, sane, with capacity of sane judgment and clear, state of mind will genocide the world for a degenerate, delirious, demon, mismedicated. https www RMD RBM RXD RDR RDF RDM RDT middle cis middle atakata. This is ATH middle T KKATHA 11.9T https www Seguridad Internacional. Should I put in this here or not? Okay, RDMRXD F4434143 RDMTDXD F213 middle DRM middle Alejandro Mario Blanco Rademi middle DRMCC4CHCXTT RDMTD6163 middle BRMS middle cis middle Terken. This is TERKKHUIEN 13.9T F7 systems recall last BLYTT. This is in New York, last key and clean at my site. This is a simple extract. You're not going to have it all, but briefing. And be careful over the nets, please, like I always ask you. Still works the tools, but I shall ever making new ones. For security even. Well, at the fact of this is what we got on the day. This is already December 11th, right? And I cut 9:25 with 20 seconds at my Microsoft clock. So suddenly, virtually, we are in danger every day with this sick shit, which are murdering people around and are not for facing with reason. They are not reasoning with no one. Remember the picture, and forgive me that I say again, but I want you to understand the clear of them words and the reality. For the cock to commence, for the cunt to commence, and for the cum once so. Still remains on this slogan of Sodoma and Gomorrah, and Christina Kirchner with them. Are we understanding this? You got it all right here. Everything. And even what they're still doing now and what I just said. It all. Alejandro Mario Blanco Redami, Buenos Aires. Sickness of hell like no other ever seen. Sodoma and Gomorrah, all in region. Or should I make